John Lipsky says this is not just austerity for austerity's sake.
Correct.
But as a member of Parliament, you have just voted for more hardship for your people.
Yes, we have. We have voted for more hardship, but there is no other way out. There is no gain with no pain, as we say in the States. And unfortunately, we have to go through fiscal changes and reforms, but we have to go through structural reforms. And these structural reforms that we have already started but do not show any tangible results yet are the reasons why these people are out there.
The problem, of course, was 12 months ago, we were told that you'd be back in the markets next year and that it would all be... Now, look, I read George Papakonstantinos, former finance minister's article this morning, in which he basically says a lot has been done, but there have been failings. Why should we give Greece the benefit of the doubt with this latest plan?
Because Greece is a country that has structural problems. No, it's not a liquidity crisis what we're dealing with. It's a solvency. It's
bankrupt.
Well, no, that's not the case. It's a capital adequacy issue. And capital adequacy issues are usually managed with structural reforms. They don't take a year. They take longer.
So why did any... Are you prepared to admit now that it was erroneous, albeit for good motives, it was erroneous to give such a misleading, optimistic impression last year?
But let's look at it in the real aspect of it. Last year, they perceived that, and today as well, sometimes we still do make this mistake. Greece is a 48th country, rich country in the world, and we don't assume that it has institutional problems, that systems are broken. So we assume automatic changes. If taxes will increase by 1%, revenues will increase by 1%, but it doesn't happen.
Exactly, and that's the problem you now have for the future, because all the assumptions on your debt for the future, under this plan and the bailout that will come, are for fast growth, privatization receipts, and basically a rosy scenario.
But actually, all of these are based on the fact that we will do structural reforms. What do I mean by that? We will eliminate debt by actually structuring and simplifying our way of doing business.
Tell me why it wouldn't just be better to have an orderly, I'm not suggesting a disorderly, I'm not saying tell the two fingers to your creditors, but an orderly restructuring and default. Just admit it can't be done.
No, it could be done. We could do it. It's an option. But we ought to not to, because we're part of the euro. You see, we're not an independent country. We can't just decide for ourselves without taking into consideration what the other 16 members of family are going to do. So since we're part of that same dinner table and we have all decided we're going to eat that same currency, we have to accept what the other 16 are suggesting, and we have to get along with it.
All right, I'm going to be downright mischievous now. You're eating that same currency. Some would say you're drinking the same hemlock.
Well, everybody is allowed to have their own opinion, aren't they?
Many thanks indeed for joining us
this
evening. I appreciate it enormously. And we'll talk again.
I hope so. Thank you.
Many times.
A pleasure.